avatu avatu mam avatu vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Om, may my speech be based on the mind. May my mind be based on speech. O self-effulgent one, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the Veda to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. I shall join together day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that protect the speaker. May that protect me. May that protect the speaker. May that protect the speaker. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we have already completed Aitareya Upanishad. So this will be some revision. It is the third chapter. Third chapter opens with the question, whom we should worship. What is that? Because there are two Atman. One is Apar Brahma, one is Para Brahma. One entered through the feet or lower portion through prana. One entered from Brahmarandhra. We have already covered this and we have repeated also few times that in the beginning there was one, then creation happened as the self-willed Brahman wanted to create. So first he created all the being, lokas and also various deities. So this we have already done. Now third chapter, first khanda. The first is, that's the concluding section also. So koyam atma iti vayam upasmahi. What is that Atman we worship? Yes, here as I have mentioned, there are two Atman. One is lower, Apar Brahma, and one is higher, Supreme Brahman. Now why this lower and higher? Because we see when we objectify, we see there is something like body, mind, but there is something who is pervading everything. So that which pervades everything, that is the cause for all our perceptions. Like we see through our eyes. When that self joins with eyes, then we see. When we hear, hearing happens when the self is attached with hearing instrument. That means sense of hearing. So it's not only receiving the impulses, but it is also removing the obstacle and discovering and finding the meaning of that impulses. So when I see a red rose, impulses come to our eyes, hits the retina, then its impulses go to the brain and ultimately to mind. But still it is not uh, recognized. To recognize, we need one self-effulgent being, and that is the self, our awareness, our consciousness. In its presence, all the perceptions happen. Many times you can see a person is sleeping, opening his eyes. He cannot see, though eyes are open, because his mind is not connected with his eyes. Sometimes we see our eyes are open, but many things we don't find. We lose our wallets, though it is in front of us, but we don't see. It's like sometimes it's like specs. So sometimes what we do, we put like this, and then we search everywhere, we don't find. So this is called praptasya prapti. Whatever it is there, we receive it. Praptasya prapti. Whatever is already there, we rediscover. This happens when our awareness, our consciousness is connected. If that is not there, even senses will not work. So, pratibodha viditam. Pratibodha means bodham, pratibodham. Means in every perception, we are aware of our real self. But still we don't see. Why? Because our attention is in objects. We want to see the things. We don't want, or see, we are not aware that he who is perceiving is the self. Now we are to concentrate there. That's the challenge. While perceiving, we are to concentrate on the entity that is perceiving. But what happens? When we see a red rose, our whole mind goes to see the red rose. And then we miss who is perceiving. And when we think that I am perceiving, it's a admixture of many things. But self is never a karta. Ichha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham, sanghata, chetana, dhriti. Etat kshetram samasena savikaram udaritam. What is kshetra? Ichha, desire. Ichha, dvesha. This means aversion, attraction, both. Sukham, dukkham, and happiness, misery. We so much engaged in these that we forget to see who is seeing. Means in his presence everything is possible. Say when I am talking or you are listening, who is that? Who is perceiving? Means in his presence perception is happening. But he is not a doer. This also should be clear. He is not a doer, but in his presence things function. Say this light is not doer, but in its presence perception is happening. So as if the light is the doer, but actually not. Similarly, our consciousness awareness looks like it is a doer, but in its presence everything happens. So one is jiva. Jiva means the person who is perceiving. like I am speaking. So jiva means consciousness, awareness, plus the instrument, and ultimately I am the doer. This person is doer. This is jiva. So karta bhokta. So he is the doer, he is the enjoyer. And then comes the second is linga, yato vacho nivartanti aprapya manasasa. So how we know? Even speech, mind returns from that. But in its presence, even mind functions. Namo namo prabhu vakya manatita. You are beyond mind and speech. So that state can be achieved through neti neti. Only by negating or whatever is being perceived. So that can be realized. So realization, at the time of realization, there is no other entity. It is a direct knowledge. Shakshat aparoksha knowledge. Shakshat aparoksha. Aparoksha means without any intermediary. So that is what that happens. The person who is thinking is not the real entity. Person who is thinking, it's a function of object and the presence of the real awareness or real effulgence. So how we can say that? Namater mantaram manvitha, na vijñater vijñataram vijaniya, na vijñater vijñataram vijaniya, namater mantaram manvitha. So whom we are to meditate, not that who is thinking. So as of now, who are thinking? This person who is thinking, not that, but in whose presence the thinking is possible. We are to think that way. Actually, what we do in our meditation also, we do the same thing. It's not that when, say, we repeat our mantra. While repeating our mantra, we concentrate on our chosen ideal. Chosen ideal is our real self. And that time what happens? Even gradually mind also stops. And then one unifies with the self. Namater mantaram manvitha, na vijñater vijñataram vijaniya. The person who is knowing, that's also not. So ultimately, from knowledge standpoint, it is neti, not this. Then only one can realize. So it is not the object that we are perceiving, but by which even the perception is happening. So that is the self, whom we are to worship. We are to meditate on, and this entity or this padartha has got many names. Sangyanam, Ajnanam, Vijnanam, Prajnanam, Medha, drishti, dhriti, matihi, manisha, jutihi, smritihi, sankalpaha, chaturasuh, kamo vashaiti. Sarvanyavaitani prajnanasya namadhyani. So these are various names. So as we can translate this because these are Sanskrit. So these are so prajnana or consciousness. So these are various expressions with various perspective. So this is Brahma, no, what is this? Sangyanam. Perception, direction, understanding, knowledge, retentive power, vision, firmness, power of reflection, freedom of thinking, mental, say depression, because through depression also we understand memory, recollection, determination, vitality, desire, love, all these are but names of prajnana or consciousness. This is Brahma, Prajapati, and all the gods, the five great elements, earth, air, ether, water, light, all these and those of various kinds, mixed with the smaller organism, the seeds of its own kind, those born of eggs, of womb, of heat, and of shoots, horses and cows, men and elephant. That means whatever we perceive, because those are objectified. So first what we have to do, we have to concentrate on the perceiver, or by which perception is happening. And then we can see that whatever we perceive is only product of that. So first it is to segregate, and then we are to include everything, because without that no existence is possible. In other words, Brahman alone exists. All other its glory. So whatever we see, yes.
All other than what?
Glory.
Glory?
See, like the sun, and sun when it emanates light. So sun, otherwise without light you cannot see. Swe mahimne pratisthita. That means he is established in his own glory. Glory. What is glory? Glory means whatever is objectified. It's not detached, it is the same thing, but it's objectified. That's why Swe Mahimne Pratishtita. He is established in his own self. That's his glory. So, whatever we see, this whole world, when we see that time also, that same reality exists. And its presence, it manifests diversely. That's why all beings, that those are walk, those that fly, the objects which do not move, all that is guided by consciousness or prakriti. The whole world is founded on prajna. See, you have prajna, you have consciousness, awareness. Then only you perceive all things. You have prajna. You are dreamer. In your dream, because you are conscious. Conscious means not like jagrata or ultimate, but whatever prajna is there. When you see your dream, it's because of you, your awareness. Then only we see even dream. So whatever is objectified, it is the same self objectified. So that's why everything. So first, one, then that one becomes many, and then many becomes one. So it is the same self who is established in his own glory. See, Mahimni Pratishtata. And it cannot, this is to be cultivated, this is to be meditated on. Atma va are drashtabhya, shrotabhya, mantabhya, nididhyasitabhya. So that alone is to be seen. In diversification, we have to see that unity. Nahi srotuhu shruter viparilopo vidyate. When you hear, the hearer is not absent. When you dream, the dreamer is not absent. Nahi srotuhu shruter viparilapo vidyate. When you see or we hear, the hearer is not absent. Now, who is the hearer? There various functions are there, but behind all the functions, it is the same self that is present. So by deduction or by removing the objects, we can find who is, in whose presence everything is happening. Nahi drashtur drishte viparilopo vidyate. So the drashta, say I am talking, you are listening. So this function is happening in presence of the self. So drashta nahi drishter viparilopo vidyate. So when there is function of drishti, that means seeing, the seer is not absent. Now here we have to understand who is the seer. One is our consciousness, awareness. On that, the function is superimposed. But as we remove the superimposition, what remains, remains. This cannot be spoken. Only this is to be realized. So in the absence of the objects, still the seer is present. So that seer we have to find out. So nahi drishtur drishte viparilopo vidyate. Drishtir drashta shrute shruta. So it is the seer of seeing. It is the hearer of hearing. So there it is not multiplicity, it is one. And one, when objectified, it becomes many as it were, not really. In our dream, it looks like it is multiplied, but not really. The dreamer is one, and on that dreamer, all the dream is superimposed. Nahi drashtu drishte viparilopa. So ultimately, what is this? Dhyayativa, lelayativa. When we interact in this world as if we are interacting, when we are meditating as if we are meditating. So, meditation or seeing, all these are not happening in real term. As if means this is our notion that we are thinking, I am thinking. It's like a notion, when we dream, we are dreaming. So this is to be contemplated. So dhyayativa, lelayativa. Iti. So ultimately, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. See, like, it cannot be expressed. Only it can be said, neti neti, not this, not this. Even it is not the karta, the doer. Karta bhokta is only jiva. But who is behind this jiva? That is to be contemplated. So what we do when we meditate on Sri Ramakrishna, we meditate on him. He is the entity on which even this doer, this speaker or hearer is established. So like when we negate this superimposition, then only we can find him. So ultimately what happens? Well, it is instructed by our gurus that when you meditate, you recite this name, think the meaning of that name, and gradually you submit yourself. This self, which is jiva, is to be submitted to that supreme soul. That means our chosen ideal. In the case of, say, Ramakrishna mission, we say Sri Ramakrishna is the chosen ideal. In other, like here, in Upanishadic age, it was Brahman. So it is very difficult to conceive. Who is this? Whom we should worship? So here, our teachers made it easier for us because we can meditate on Sri Ramakrishna and gradually submit ourselves, leaving our ego. And ego is the jiva. So that's to be submitted. But this cannot be spoken because yato vacho nivartante aprapya manusasa. It can be experienced. It is not that it is beyond our experience. Experience is very much there. I am speaking, while speaking I am aware I am speaking. And this awareness is beyond this jiva. But in its presence, even seeing, hearing, everything is possible. So we can say that he is pervading everything. He alone exists. And this is also called anantar avahyam. Antarbahyam, anantar abbahyam. That means there is no antar, there is no separation. And it's not external. There is nothing external. Even this whole world is conceived by us. It's in our mind. It's not outside. When we close our eyes, we dream. Dream is not outside. Similarly, this world also is not outside. Anantaram abhahyam. So it is not outside. There is no separation. Ayamatma Brahma Sarvanubhuh. So this Atman is Supreme Brahman. And who is the the अनुभव करने वाला, that means who is realizing. Say, I'm speaking, I'm realizing I'm speaking. And he is beyond this also. There is no function as realization. No function remain there. So that is what ultimately to say this, that tat tvam asi. Thou art that. You are that. When we say your chosen ideal, meditate on your chosen ideal, you are meditating on yourself. Not this body-mind complex that we call jiva, jivatma. But jiva, behind jiva, that on whom we are to meditate. And then there is no separation left. It is the same self who is manifesting as jiva. So when one submits oneself to his chosen ideal, he becomes that. Brahmavit brahmaiva bhavati. Nwara Brahman becomes Brahman. Yatra tasya sarvam atmaiva abhut kena kam pashyeta. When there is everything is Brahman, then who sees whom? Even there is no seeing also. That means there is no function. In your deep sleep, who is seeing whom? So one can argue that that's the unconscious state. There is no object in that situation. But it is not that it is consciousness, awareness is absent. Because the next day we say, oh, I slept very well. That means I experienced that one. So, Atman Atmana Vetti. One knows one's own real self. So this is the experience. And after that he sees that whatever is existing, it's only upadhi. And that happens because of the creative force that is called Maya. Because of the creative force, we see many. But in reality, it is one and the same thing. In dream, it is because of creative force we see many. But actually it is you and you alone. Similarly, in this world, whatever we experience, it is you and you alone. Tat tvam asi. You are that. Yatra tasya sarvam atmaiva bhut kena kam pashyet. Then who sees whom? It is the same self. And Brahmagyani realizes this. He realizes that this is me. And Sri Ramakrishna, he said, I cannot scold anyone because I see it is the same self. Whom should I scold? So this is not a story, cock-bull story. Rather, this is the story of our own self. Tat tvam asi. Thou art that. Only we need to negate our apparent self. That we have notion that I am embodied person, that I am enshackled person. This notion is to be discarded. And that is called manana and nididhyasana. Shravana, manana and nididhyasana. So discarding what we are not. So this is prajna. Prajna is our real self, awareness, consciousness. And when it identifies with the things of the world, then it perceives manyness. Anyway, this is the um, so how we see many, though we are one and the same. So this is, I think today it is this much is enough. Today there is a special day today. As we know, Ram Navami. Ram was born today in Ayodhya, that is Uttar Pradesh, India. So Rama is depicted as ideal brother, ideal son, ideal husband, ideal king, ideal father. But if we see his life is full of sacrifice, just think about it. When he was being coronated as the prince, that time, due to his mother, the stepmother, he was asked to leave the kingdom for 14 years. What does it mean? 14 years means what? That means you lose your that authority to rule the kingdom. So that's 14 years. And he lives for forest, and he goes to forest. So great sacrifice. Things happen in front of us. Now, how we react, that's most important. It's not that the things will affect us, but how we react, that is most important. So Rama reflected that it is Raghukula Priti Sada Chaliyai Prana Jai Par Vachananya Jai. He thought that this is our tradition, that in our clan, truth is given the high importance. Even we can die to keep the words. So that is why because his father gave word to his mother, stepmother, so he chose to go to forest for 14 years. So it is the person how he reacted, and everyone reacted in a different way. But he chose, but what was there? 14 years in the forest is not easy. They are here to fight asuras, demons. Those are demonic. And Sita was taken away. So this is also in Adhyatma Ramayana. This is called like our mind is Sita. When mind was tempted seeing the golden deer, then Sita was abducted by Ravana. So same thing happens in our case also. When our mind is tempted seeing the temptation of this world, then we are abducted by demon, that's called Ravana. But if you keep on meditating on Rama, then Rama will come and rescue you. So this is the story of Ramayana, where Rama, even with ordinary people, like Vanaras, that means they are called monkeys, but actually it may not be a monkey, but a clan. Ordinary people. and he gathered those, invaded Sri Lanka, and conquered Ravana, brought back Sita. But then what happened? While taking, her chastity was tested, and Sita had to enter into fire to prove her chastity. And then when she was brought to Ayodhya, still some people started talking ill about her. And Rama, because he was ideal king, he had to abandon Sita. In exile, her two sons were born. And in the same hermitage where Sita was kept, Valmiki. So he taught Lava and Kusha, their two sons, not only archery, but how to sing and all the fine arts. And he taught Ramayana to them. Two sons goes to the court of Rama. They sing the glory of Rama, but then they also ask the question, where is Sita? And then it happens that the sages suggested Rama to perform Ashwamedha Yajna, a kind of sacrifice in which a horse was free, kept free to roam wherever it wants to go, and the whole area becomes the kingdom of that king. If somebody opposes, then that king should fight. So Ashwamedha Yajna. And that time these two boys, they hold that horse. And then Rama had to fight. Rama, not only Rama, Hanuman and Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, all four brothers had to fight. And those two boys were so valorous. Ultimately, when Rama came, and I am telling it in short, and the four princes, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. So Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna were unconscious. Hanuman was arrested, and it's because Hanuman knew who these two boys were, but he could not disclose. And then ultimately Rama discovers, and he takes those two, the two princes, two prince or princess, whatever. Then, but Sita had to ask again to give that fire ceremony, pariksha. And that time Sita was out of herself and said, "O Mother Earth, you take me to your lap." Sita was born out of earth, it is considered. So our mind is also like that. When mind is attracted to temptation, then we are, say Ravana takes us as it were demonic power. So that is why this is a kind of scripture to make things understandable, which is philosophically it is difficult to understand. So this is the day on which Rama was born. It's a great day, Ram Navami, and great festivities are going on today. So anyway, Upanishad, and now we have completed this Upanishad, the main theme of it. But completing does not mean that one should not study further. Rather, one should keep on reminding oneself. Of course, we will take up another Upanishad, not from next Sunday, but Sunday next we can take up that another Upanishad. We will think about it, what Upanishad we can take. But there will be one gap, and then we'll take up from the next one. So, thank you very much.